What I am about to tell you can help you transform your mind, can help you transform your life. I have a question for you. Who are you? Who are you? You've got a name, a family, a place, a country you belong to. You've got certain features and characteristics that people whom you are close to can associate you with. You've got experiences, memories, perhaps dreams. People can often forget their dreams. People can sometimes forget their memories. We all get older, and a few of us forget everything. Where they come from, who their family are, and what their name is. You can have a car crash and wake up in the hospital, in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, with no memory whatsoever, who you are and where you are. Sometimes, through accidents or diseases, certain neurons in the brain stop firing and we just forget. Just like that. We can forget where we are, what we are, or who we are. But we never forget that we are. Whatever it is that we may be, you are. You always are. There is always something inside of you that acknowledges that it exists, even without a name or a memory. That sense that you exist, even without knowing how or where or why. So what is that you in yourself that knows that it is alive? It is that certain gift that we are all given, from the moment we are born until the day we die. So if you know that you are, then you can be anything you want to be, not what you are told that you are, because you can forget that, can't you? You can always decide who you are. You have the birth-given right to choose who you want to be, a divine right, which nothing or no one can take away from you. I just want to say to everybody that if you want to be a success, that if you want to be that person that you truly want to be, then just decide from this moment on that you are so. You decide now that you are whatever or whoever you want to be. Say to yourself, I am a success. I am healthy. I am good. I am strong. I am happy. I am wealthy. Your inner I am is at your free disposal. Hang on every word after it you want. Come on, try it. Say it out loud or say it in your mind as much as you want. Remind yourself of what your I am is. Only you have the right to give it a name. That I am is your child. Give it any name you want. I am rich. I am amazing. I am loving. I am brave. I am a champion. It is your I am. The I am doesn't care who you are, doesn't care whether you are old or young, rich or poor, a man or a woman, big or small, weak or strong. The I am equally doesn't care what you call it. You can say, I am an idiot, I am sick, I am poor. I bet a lot of you say that to yourselves on a day-to-day basis, without even knowing that you are giving your I am a name, a story which you don't want for yourself, that you are clothing your inner spirit in a garment that you don't like. And why would you do that? Don't waste your time and your I ams on self-pity, on negativity, on fear, hate, anger. You were given this gift. And it is not polite nor nice to throw a gift away. Use your I am. Give it a name. You have as many I ams as you wish. Go ahead, be brave, and choose for yourself that what you want to be. Do you want to be a slave to others? A slave to any idea which isn't your own, which you cannot claim as being what you want for yourself? Or do you want to be successful and happy with your own idea of how life should be, of how your life should be? Be the I am that you want your life to be.
80% of success is psychology, 20% is the mechanics. The problem is most people live in their heads. They have their dream, they have their goal, they get hyped up about it, they get fearful about it, and they just don't execute.
Unchain your mind.
I like something Les Brown said once. He said, there are losers and there are people who haven't learned how to win. My question to you is this: which one are you? Are you a loser, or are you still learning how to win? If you're a loser, it doesn't mean that you're less than. It could mean that you've gotten really good at quitting. It could mean that you've gotten really comfortable ending your race before the finish line. You have your reasons for not finishing, and I've had mine too. But right here, right now, the question is, do you want to win?
Self-discipline separates people from success and not being successful. I've never met a person who was not successful that didn't have a great amount of self-discipline within their life. Self-discipline and being able to perform and being able to keep your life on schedule and being able to keep commitments and promises and meet deadlines is essential to success.
Look, if you want to get rich, you want to be really successful. When I say rich, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about a rich life, freedom, time with family, choices, get to do what you want. See, this is what people do. They set a target. You remember when you were a kid and you set targets that were big, giant, had nothing to do with reason? They were giant, right? And then you had some difficulty getting to it, and somebody said, what? Dude, your goals are unrealistic. You need to drop your goals down and add 40 years and end up with nothing. Certainly not congruent with your potential.
None of us can afford to have a life that is controlled by someone else, or a life that is basically controlled by our emotions. I learned many years ago that there are two kinds of people. There's the type of person who says, I'm going to wait till I feel like it before I do it. And then there's a person who says, I've got to do it so that I feel like it. One will never get anything done because they're still waiting to feel the moment to move. And the other person says, no, I need to move, and then I will begin to feel the moment.
Most people have strategies available, or they could get them, or you could create them, but the problem is you got a story. And your story is why it isn't working. And the story is, I've tried everything. If you tried everything, you'd be fit. If you tried everything, you'd be profitable. There's always a story. And what I tell people is, if you can just divorce the story of your limitation and marry the truth of your unlimited capacity, then the whole game changes.
Most of us in our life are trying to make a 10% improvement. And we know this. This is, I'm trying to increase my revenues by 10%, I'm trying to increase my sales by 10%, save 10% more. The lands out there, whatever it truly is, we all have this sort of beaten into us by life and by the rest of the universe that you can make these small incremental improvements. But the fact of the matter is that there are those in the world that go 10 times bigger. And every one of us can be that.
I would say to you that it's your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility to fulfill your potential, and that's actually what success is. Success is not money.
Simplest thing is get crazily hungry for something. We all know when you get so hungry, so desirous, your brain starts coming up with answers. And then it's massive action, but effective execution, which is all modeling, which is, I assume, what this is about. Find the best example, compress the time. Let someone else take 20 years to figure it out. You do it in 2 weeks or 2 months.
Even if you have no idea how to solve it, no idea how to get there, you'll be amazed at what you come up with. And what's interesting is our legacy, our past, anchors us to where we are today. And you have to let go of that. You truly have to let go of all the stuff in your past, what you thought you'd done, the infrastructure that you've built to let yourself go.
We are not our feelings. We are not our patterns. Those are things we might identify with, but we're not that. And so when I see a pattern and it doesn't work, I don't think the person's broken. I don't think anybody's broken. I'm not here to fix people, but I am here to break up the patterns that don't work.
I might be wrong in what I say, okay? I might be wrong in the things I do in my life and the business that I started. My family's told me not to start every business that I've been involved in, every one of them. Every one of them was a risk. Every one of them I had to take a chance. I remember my mom used to tell me, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'm like, Mom, you wouldn't do anything. Well, you wouldn't do anything except be the mother, a great mother to 5 children. My mother wasn't an entrepreneur. She didn't have my dreams. Just because she's my mom doesn't mean she dreams like me. Would you agree? Okay? My mom was wrong about everything she told me not to do. Love my mom to death. Okay? Unbelievable friend of mine. She was wrong. I needed to do those things. Okay? Steve Jobs needed to build this phone. Would you agree? Did he help a lot of people? Did he make some money while he was doing it? $119 billion in 5 years.
Have the conversation with the person that's holding you back. The reason most people who are listening right now are not doing that thing is they're worried about the opinion of somebody, usually their mother, usually their father. And the reality is that your spouse may be the person holding you back, and you have to have that conversation. We have to get to a place where you're doing you, because the number one thing that scares the f out of me is regret. And you're gonna sit there at 72 and you're gonna say, I wish, I wish, I wish. It's looking yourself in the mirror and saying, like, am I doing this right? So to me, there's so many people that are talking shit about how big of an entrepreneur they're gonna be and how much they're gonna achieve, and they don't work on weekends. You know, I worked every Saturday of my 20s. And I talk to 20-year-old entrepreneurs every single day. Lately, I've been saying to them, this Saturday, you're gonna have more time off than I've had in my entire 20s on a Saturday. So like, before you tell me how you're gonna be bigger than me, start thinking about what you're actually doing.
Ask yourself, am I practicing self-discipline in my life? Am I doing the things that I should do because I need to do them, or am I kind of waiting to feel the moment?
Make a damn schedule and stick to it. It's not a bloody prison. That's the first thing that people do wrong. They say, well, I don't like to follow a schedule. It's like, well, what kind of schedule are you setting up? Well, I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this, you know, and then I just go play video games, because who wants to do all these things that I have to do? It's like, wrong. Set the damn schedule up so that you have the day you want.
You are what you consistently do. If you look at your calendar, you look at what you're doing on a daily, regular basis, that is what's going to determine your future path. So if you eat one chocolate bar, but the rest of your day is pretty healthy, you're going to be a healthy person. But if you're eating junk and then pizza and then Burger King and more burgers and more junk afterwards, and then you eat one piece of broccoli, doesn't mean you're going to be healthy. Working out once won't make a big difference for you. Working out 3 times a week or working out every day, you'll see changes in your life. You are what you consistently do.
Want to be in the game? Read. The average American reads 1 book a year. The top CEOs in America read 5 books a month, 60 plus books a year. But immerse yourself with books, audio, video, daily, okay? You hit all 3 of those, where I'm reading something, listening to something, and watching something. These are completely different ways to learn. Find YouTube channels that are good for you.
If you work your ass off, you're totally focused, you're trying to serve something larger than yourself, and you really are executing what works, you need a little grace. You might want to call it luck if you prefer, God, the universe, but it's there. And we can all achieve. But I think the more important skill, if you ask me, is to have an extraordinary life, is the art of fulfillment. and it's an art. It's not a science. Because there's a science to making money. I don't care who you are. If you do certain things, you're gonna have too much financial stress. You do other things, you're gonna have an abundance. There's a science. There's a science to your body. Everyone here is biochemically different genome, but there's certain fundamental patterns that if you and I follow them, you're gonna have tons of energy, you're gonna feel good. If you break them, you're gonna pay the price and have low energy or disease. But fulfillment is an art. What's gonna fulfill you is different than the other person next to you. You're not gonna learn that from anybody else. And you gotta find it, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure.
We live in an external world. Everything is you gotta see it, touch it, it's external. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to people who are calling you fat, gay, transsexual, nigger. Everything that is makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whatever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. And I'm not saying don't believe in God or what you believe in, but right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you gotta be quiet. Shut the fuck up, go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. So you gotta go start your journey. And the journey starts with you finding, why the hell am I here on this planet Earth? Why am I here? And if you don't know that, you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why? The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. And some people will get it and some people won't. But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives, and they have great kids. Their kids go to college and all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it, but a lot of us die never truly starting our journey. You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. We tap dance around the truth by finding the right words so I don't hurt you because you have thin skin. No, tighten up, people. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. You might be called nigger one day. It's okay. You might be called some Jewish word or some faggot or gay word. It's okay. Let them call you that. What are you going to do now? They don't own your life. How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness this shit and you'll read about me years from now? How? That's the question. How are you going to do that? Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it.
Well, I think we're all flawed, and that's the beauty of who you are. And instead of trying to make yourself perfect in every area, it's so much easier when you accept the things that you're terrible at, or that are your weaknesses, or that are the things about your wiring. Look, if I were diabetic, I would take insulin. I happen to be somebody that's wired for anxiety. No big deal. So figure out how to, instead of fighting those things, actually trick it. Because the truth is that you're never gonna feel ready to make these changes. You're never gonna feel like doing them, but you can always make a decision. That's always in your control. Staying with somebody that treats you like garbage is a decision. It is. Staying at a job that you hate is a decision. Staying in the body that you are not proud of is a decision. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not gonna be easy to change. It's simple. Do a Google search and then use the 5-second rule to force yourself to do that stuff. Change comes down to 5-second decisions, and this is why the 5-second rule is important for everybody to know. It's your job to push yourself. And I don't care if you're Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., or you're Michelangelo, or you're Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, you will struggle with self-doubt. And everybody that you admire, everybody, and the list is the same for everybody. Oh, Oprah Winfrey, and I want to be like, Tom, and I want to be like, Branson, and I want to be like Jay-Z, and I want, everybody's list is Bill Gates, and do you know what those people do? They do not have the habit of hesitating. They trust themselves.
So I would say this is my current POV, because I think it's actually important that I have a different answer for this at 50 and 60, because you're gonna adjust to the reality. I'll give you a good example. If something terrible happens in my life and it's disease-based, or it's because some kid was texting while he was driving and hit my dad, those will become things that I wanna leave a legacy about, because that's just how we act as humans, right? They become your truths. But no question, this will never go away. I want to do the following. I'm fascinated by the same thing that attracts so many of millions of people to people that are selling bullshit. Those same people are attracted to me. And what I want to do is suffocate out all those other people and become the alpha of that entire world of people that are hoping and are desperate.
I hated going to school, so guess what? I was dumb as shit. That's what, 1 + 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. That's what people understand. By me running, I am callous in my mind. I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit, so it's all one. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just gonna crumble, and you're good for nobody.
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity.
If you want to have something show up in your life, the kind of person you would like to become, manifest something new into your life, something powerful, whatever it might be, you obviously must first be able to imagine it. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. So, what kind of attention do you place on your desires? Einstein's most famous quote, one of his most famous observations, he said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Logic will get you from A to B, but imagination will take you everywhere. Make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish. And your wish must be realized. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. If this assumption about what you would like to become is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is absolutely inevitable. You must first assume the feeling of a wish fulfilled in all aspects of your life. Don't allow anybody else's opinions. Don't allow what it says on the internet. Don't allow the research. Don't allow what anybody out there tells you is possible or not possible for you. If you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams and endeavor to live the life which you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. It will chase after you if you can place into your imagination what it is that you would like to attract and begin to feel it. Start retraining your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, it responds to what it is that you suggest to it. Your subconscious mind rules your life. 96 to 97% of everything that you do is done as a result of your subconscious mind. And when your subconscious mind gets programmed, it goes ahead and responds to whatever it is your conscious mind has placed into it. You are the creator. This is the mystery. This is the great secret known by the seers and prophets and mystics throughout the ages. This is the truth that you can never know intellectually.
Many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself.
You are where you are today, in part because of what you've been saying about yourself. Words are like seeds. When you speak something out, you give life to what you're saying. If you continue to say it, eventually that can become a reality. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. And this is great when we're saying things like, I'm blessed, I'm strong, I will accomplish my dreams, I'm coming out of debt. That's not just being positive, you are prophesying victory, prophesying success, prophesying new levels. Your life will move in the direction of your words. But too many people go around prophesying just the opposite. I never get any good breaks. I'll never get back in shape. Business is slow. I'll probably get laid off. Flu season is here. I always get it. They don't realize they are prophesying defeat. It's just like they're calling in bad breaks, mediocrity, lack.
You don't become what you want because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. That's why Jim Carrey's story is so powerful, because he started to act as though he already had it. He would go up to Mulholland Drive, he would drive away thinking, I already have those things, I just haven't accessed them as yet. I believe those things are going to come to me and I'm going to act like they are, so I'm going to move forward in my life in order to draw that to myself in such a way that my actions are in alignment with what I say I believe. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
You can talk yourself out of your destiny. Negative words can keep you from becoming who you were created to be. Don't fall into that trap. Quit calling in defeat. Quit talking about how it's not going to happen. You should write down your goals. Write down what you want to see happen in life. Any areas that you're struggling in, where you need to improve, write it down like it's already done. And then every day, declare that decree. Read over it a couple of times out loud. It's not enough to just think it. Something happens when we speak. You have to prophesy your future. Those words will get down on the inside of you. They'll not only change your outlook, but they will change who you are. Your words will become your reality.
Remember, everybody wants the good life, but not everybody's willing to follow these rules. You must follow these rules. Everybody wants the good life, but not everybody's willing to read to get it. You must read more. Everybody wants the good life, but not everybody's willing to persevere to get it. You must persevere. Everybody wants the good life, but not everybody gets the good life. It's supposed to be hard. The hard is what makes it great. Mentors, your ability to copy, is the biggest predictor of the success that you will have in life.
You are the machine, and you can control the machine. And people ask me, how do I get tougher? Be tougher. They ask me, how can I wake up earlier in the morning? The answer is, wake up earlier in the morning. How can I work out consistently every single day? Work out consistently every single day.
The more emotional you make the statement, the more real it becomes. The more you live into it, the more real it becomes.
So make the decision, make the commitment, become the discipline.
Wait till you see.
The next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button.
What is Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Barack Obama, and I could go on and on and on about the most successful people in the world today and throughout history. What do all of them have in common? They all have an empowering morning ritual.
Almost everything you do from the time you get up in the morning is habit. So start to think about yourself. What would be the best habits to have?
A starting ritual is a repeated behavior that you adopt in order to trigger a new habit.
When you wake up in the morning, say thank you for grace. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours.
The secret of success is determined by your daily agenda. What you want to be tomorrow, you've got to do today.
Have goals, life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals, and understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan. Working really hard is what successful people do.
Your footprints to success are really footprints of success. Because every step that is made and taken based upon the goals that you have for your life, every step is the progressive realization of success in your life.
Good habits are hard to form, but easy to live with. Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with. So the rule is form good habits and make them your masters.
Habits come down to one golden rule, and that's this. You can never change the things that trigger you. You can't control your urges or how you might feel, but you can always choose how you behave. If you want to break a habit, once you have a habit, it's always going to be encoded in your brain. The only way that you can break it is to replace it with new behavior.
This means when you go to sleep at night, think about your goals for the coming day. Make a list for each day of all the goals, the little goals you're going to accomplish that day. Keep a journal and write down your goals on a regular basis. You see, you do become what you think about most of the time. You do achieve what you think about most of the time. So all successful people and all wealthy people think about their goals most of the time.
The things that get scheduled are the things that get done, and vague goals lead to vague results.
Have you ever noticed how hard it is to just get started? How hard it is to get to the gym? How hard it is to get out of bed? You need activation energy to start the change, to start to sit down, to start to get out of bed, to start to walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you that causes the initial boom. And then what do we hear over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction, and that allows you to keep going.
Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. You see, anybody can do it if they feel like it. It's when you don't feel like it and you do it anyway that you eventually develop the self-discipline that makes everything else possible.
Discipline is not punishment. It's not. Discipline is training. If you change your mind, your mindset, and really focus it on what discipline really is, you start to welcome discipline. You welcome self-discipline into your life.
You're not only going to blow up the system in your head and the tricks that your brain uses to stop you right now, you're going to shake up your entire life.
Discipline is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can.
Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress.
And we do live in a world where there's such a fascination with entertainment, and everyone loves pretty pictures. And it's really easy to spend the best hour of your best days looking at what your friends are eating. And I'm suggesting to you, you think like a student, because you're watching this mastery session because something deep within you wants you to be the master of your game. And here's the thing about every master. Every master thinks like a beginner. They're always learning.
Anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
Make today count.
The most important thing in the world to you is you. It's your life. It's your dreams. I want to talk to you today about living the life you were put on this earth to live. See, there's only one you. In the history of humanity, you need to live a life of happiness and fulfillment. See, I believe the greatest definition of success is happiness. It's happiness. It's not money. Money is great, but it can't buy a happy soul.
We willingly subject ourselves to meaningless routines. We go to our meaningless jobs so that we can earn this meaningless money, so that we can spend it on meaningless things that will mean even less once we're gone. All the while, the beauty of life is just passing us by because we're too busy writing a school paper, or we're too busy flipping burgers at a restaurant. We're too busy sending off emails to a client. We're essentially just too busy to live.
I've always said people are designed for success, but something called life comes along and programs and conditions them for failure. You talk to a bunch of 5-year-olds and you say, what do you want to do with your life? And they've got big dreams. They want to be a pilot. They want to be a doctor. They want to be a sports star. They want to be an astronaut. They want to do something great. But then something happens. They grow up. And then they go out in the real world and they get something called a boss, or they get a job, and they start grinding down on them. The world starts wearing those dreams down, and they start just existing. They give up on their dreams and they start just accepting it. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Not for you. Not for your life. But you have to show up and fight like crazy. Fight like a junkyard dog for your dreams and for your life. You've got to demand success and happiness for your family. Life will give you what you accept. You got to take action now. The great John Wooden always said, make today your masterpiece. There's only one you, and you've only got one today. You're spending today, I think, in a great location. But there is only one today, one now. Tomorrow it's gone. Okay, tomorrow it's a different day. People spend their whole life planning on living their dreams, let me tell you what, you got to take action. You got to attack the day. You got to ask yourself every day, what are the major tasks that I can do today to have a better, happier, less stressful tomorrow? And then you got to get serious about getting it done. Most people think happy and serious don't go together. Wrong. You got to get serious about getting happy. You got to develop a happiness that comes from the heart, not from your circumstances. You got to develop a happiness that just wells up inside of you. Every day in your life, you got to weed the negative and you got to fertilize the positive. All that positive thinking and how you think and what you determine your destiny to be, it works. You must prepare your mind to be happy.
There have been times in my life when I've been down. I've been out. I've been afraid. I've looked up at the road ahead and have been completely unsure. And I can say firsthand, when you are going through a situation like this, that it essentially consumes you, right? It's all you see, it's all you think about, to the point where the good stuff, the opportunity around you, it becomes transparent. You see right through it. It's the negative, it's the misfortune for a period of time that becomes your narrative, becomes the story. What if this is forever? What if I'm not as good as I want to be, or as they are? What if things don't work out? Never mind the fact that you've been here before and that you've battled back. Never mind how far you've come. No, that takes a back seat to the discomfort that we feel right now. And that's the irrationality of the human mind we forget. We forget that the lows create the highs. The temporary isn't forever, that you can't stand with any type of authority if you've never before fallen. Accomplishing anything is never just walking up and reaching a goal. It's about getting back up over and over again. Taking the bad breaks in stride and seeing the losses for what they are, necessary. What if I told you that the difficult times weren't just manageable, they were what you needed? Those moments where you felt hopeless were a bridge to something better. What if I told you that the difficult times weren't just manageable, they were what you needed? Those moments where you felt hopeless were a bridge to something better. A demonstration of just how capable you are and how strong you can be. Feeling lost, feeling defeated, sure, is unsettling. But it's also a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. In one form or another, your struggle becomes your answer. Life. Life isn't always calm seas and sunny skies, but if you let it, it will teach you to weather any storm to come out on top. Never lose sight of the opportunity. It's there, hiding behind the struggle and immersed in the ups and downs. And when you know that you will not let yourself stay down, that you'll get up, struggle becomes a building block, not a weight around the ankles. With each stumble, you become taller. With each misstep, you step forward.
You know, life is short. Life is short. We're not going to get a do-over. You know, life goes by so quick. We need to create in this world a community of positive thinking. The world today needs people that are focused on doing something great more than ever, because there's plenty of people tearing us down and pulling us apart.
So hopefully my life will stand the test of time, and whatever I build, whatever I sow, how I treat people, particularly those who don't look like me or come from where I come from or think like me or have my perspective, if I can treat them with honor and dignity and respect, if I can fight for their hopes, their dreams, and their aspirations, and I can lift somebody else, if I can push one person into destiny, then all the years of my life will have been worth it. And then I can say with surety, my life was a success.
The point of life is to cultivate long-lasting, true, meaningful relationships with others. It's to be of service to others. I'm here to serve you. You should be here to serve me. We should be here to lift each other up. Because although, yes, we acknowledge that we are in this system, what we all have at the end of the day is each other. And the only thing that will mean anything on our deathbeds is the relationships that we've cultivated, the people whose hearts we touched. That's the only thing that's truly going to matter. We can spend all of our time, our energy, our resources glorifying ourselves, lifting ourselves up, but that's empty. There is no substance in that. All we have at the end of the day is one another. How much money you have by the time you reach your deathbed, how many things you own by the time you reach your deathbed, they're not going to mean anything. They're going to hold no significance. The only thing that's going to mean anything at the end of the day are the people whose hearts you touched, the friendships you cultivated, the love that you gave, the laughs that you had, the cries that you shared with other people. Essentially, all we got is each other. And that is the only thing that gives me true fulfillment and peace on earth.
I always say, enjoy the good, the bad, and the ugly. Enjoy when you feel sad or defeated, because it means that you are alive. It means that you are one step ahead of most other people, because you actually have emotions, because you cry sometimes, because you laugh sometimes. You live life, and I applaud you for that. It means that you are brave. It means that you try. It means that you care about something. And next time, when you feel sad or depressed, just stop for a minute. As soon as you catch yourself feeling that way, try to halt and catch that feeling before it can spread even more. And say to yourself, it is only a feeling. It doesn't mean that it's over now. It doesn't mean that you have given up. It is normal to suffer blows in life and maybe doubt yourself. Maybe you are about to give up and you dig into that feeling of helplessness. Don't. Understand that you just got the proof that you are alive. Understand that it means that you can be successful and happy, because in our universe everything has its opposite. So you feel sad. As soon as you notice that sadness or unhappiness, embrace it for only a moment and understand that it is only a feeling. It is all good and that nothing can stop you, and you are the only one who defines when you give up. So live those emotions, even the sadness, the unhappiness. Appreciate that you have been blessed with being able to feel and experience all this vastness, all this life. See, the world doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't owe you a single thing. If you want something, you go out and get it. If you decide what it is in your life you want, if you decide that you want to make something out of yourself, then you go out there and claim it. The world doesn't care what you do, if you win, if you lose, or if you don't even bother trying and just do nothing in your life. But isn't it a shame not to try? Isn't it better to try and fail and to be proud of yourself, for you never lose as long as you try. You always learn something new as long as you try. Always strive forward. Always be eager to experience new things, to experience this beautiful life. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. We learn that as toddlers, as small children, but why do we forget? Our whole life will be that way. No matter how old you are, no matter what you have achieved or experienced, every day you will fall down. So you learn to get up again. And believe me, there are a lot of different ways how you can fall in life. Never look back in life. The past is the past, and let the past rest. But you are not the past. You are the now, and you are the future, my friend. The world needs you. Society needs you. We all need you to contribute to this magnificent life with your ideas, with your dreams, and with your experiences. If you suddenly stop all your dreams and aspirations you have for yourself just because something negative happens to you, it is like the analogy of the man who is walking down the street, and as it starts raining he just stops in the middle of the street because he's so shocked by the rain. He didn't see it coming. It is normal to get wet when it starts to rain. Keep on walking and you will find shelter. Next time you go out, you'll have your umbrella with you. So we can always learn, and we should always be grateful for the lessons we receive in life. Life is a journey. It is a process of constant learning, constant emotions, but also always relentlessly moving forward. That is just the nature of the world, the nature of our life. Move forward every day and never give up. Motivate yourself every day to get up in the morning, to claim new dreams, to always enjoy life, to live life. Watch a motivational video or two in the morning to get you going if you feel down. Meditate. Exercise. Remember who you want to be. Remember what great person hides inside you. Do whatever works for you. Be optimistic. Be hungry. Be joyful. Imagine yourself as an 80-year-old you. As an 80-year-old you who has realized all of his dreams. What will you tell yourself to get up every time you fall down and to never give up, no matter what, because you made it? This older you is the proof. It is only in your imagination, of course, but if you can imagine it, it must be out there somewhere.
We all go through seasons of struggle when it feels like it's uphill. There's pressure raising children. Maybe you're believing for your health to improve, but it's not getting better. Too often we get discouraged and think that's just the way life is. You may be struggling now. You feel pressured. You think that's the way it's always going to be. You'll always struggle with your health, struggle in a relationship, struggle in your finances. No, you're going to come in to an anointing of ease. When you come into this ease, what once was a struggle won't be a struggle anymore. You're going to have a supernatural grace, a favor that will lighten the load and take the pressure off. This is a new day. Ease is coming. This is a new day. You are going to have a strength that you did not have before. I know a single parent mother. She was working hard, raising her children, trying to make ends meet. Every month she barely had enough to pay her bills. She told how she dreamed of taking a vacation, but every time she saved up extra funds, something would break that had to be repaired. She was being her best, but couldn't get ahead. It seemed like she would struggle her whole life. When you keep doing the right thing, you keep passing these tests, you're going to come in to this anointing of ease. One day her supervisor unexpectedly took an early retirement, and she was given that position. With it came a significant increase in salary. She was very grateful. Several years later, her manager, one of the vice presidents of this large company, suddenly resigned, and she was given that position. She said, "Joel, I don't really know how this happened. Everything just fell into place, and here I am." What she was really saying was, that was easy. You may be struggling in some areas. Don't get discouraged. That is not permanent. Ease is coming. I talked to a young man. He was finishing up his master's. He had one final exam left. It was the hardest class on his schedule. He was very stressed out and concerned that he wasn't going to pass. He came back last week so excited. He had passed the test. And I asked him, how was it? He said, "It's funny because all of my classmates thought it was very difficult, but to me, it was easier than I expected." Sometimes we're expecting to fail. We're expecting to struggle. We're expecting it to be difficult. Turn it around. You tried and it didn't work out. Try again. You're in a new season. You're going to overcome obstacles easier than you think. You're going to accomplish dreams easier than you think.
Maybe we have many lives. Maybe we get reborn, who knows? But this life, exactly this life, under these circumstances, we will only experience once. So make the best of it. Follow your passion, follow your dream, follow your heart. Thanks for watching.